Hi, everybody. Today I thought we would talk a little bit about Facebook Live. I know it's something that maybe you even see it promoted. Maybe you see your friends or your other racers that are doing Facebook Lives and thinking about doing them for your own race team. Of course, many of you know that I am a huge proponent of video. Video is so incredibly powerful, and Facebook Live is a really great way for you to get started with video, especially. But I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the pros and the cons. Is it something that you just want to do just lives, or do you want to do recorded videos? Different things like that. So some of the let's talk about the live portion for a second. Is the pros and cons. It is in the moment, so you can say that's a pro. Like, you can really have your finger on the pulse. If you're at an event especially, it's really good for that, because you can be like, hey, look at here, here's the racetrack. And it's really in the moment. It's a very interactive with your audience, so your audience can connect with you and actually have a conversation. Other people can see it in the comments, so it's not like some weird one-sided phone conversation. It really is a conversation with the people because they're able to type and you're able to talk and you're interacting. It's also really powerful. Facebook will feed live video to more people than it does the recorded videos. So that's definitely a big plus, because it is really hard to be seen. We can say it's like a noisy market, or the internet is full of clutter, is what I like to say. But at Facebook especially, it's getting harder and harder to be seen. So going live is a really, really good way to be seen. However, on the downside, the con side of that would be if you want something that's a little more polished, if you want to be able to put in, we call it B-roll. So for instance, maybe you're talking about a manufacturer, and then you want to show a picture of like I made my own B-roll right there. But where you've got separate images and you bring them in, you do some editing with some music, and you don't have any capability of editing with a Facebook Live, which is also one of the positive things, is you don't get slowed down by editing, because that's been my problem for a long time. Is just editing takes so much time. It's unbelievable how much time editing takes. And so it's a pro and it's a con, because you can't deliver quite as a polished something. But it really depends on the purpose of the video, as far as that goes. And then let's talk about recorded video for a moment. The pros and cons of that. Again, the pro would be that it can be more polished. It can be more thought through. You also, it's up to you. I find now, I thought I was going to be really nervous when it came to live video, but truthfully, I'm more nervous with recorded video than I am with live video. And I think the biggest reason why is because I know with the live video that this is a potential to actually have a conversation. And in fact, speaking of conversation, feel free to say hi in the comments. And that's great. And I love that. Also, so you can add the music, you can have greater creativity with the recorded video. But the downside is the editing can take some time. You might have to get special software. I mean, there's plenty of software you can get on your phone for being able to do that. But it's not as interactive, and it's not going to be delivered the same way on Facebook as a live video. So I do both. I do both recorded videos and I do live videos, and I think there's a purpose for each one of those depending on what it is that I'm trying to communicate. I generally, with my recorded videos, I keep those really short. Usually 3 to 6 minutes long is about what I keep a recorded video, whereas some of the live videos can go a little bit longer, but I will advise you keep it. Here's my rules on video and how long it should be. Make it as long as it needs to be and as short as it can be. Those are my rules, because we're all busy people in the world, and we just don't want to sit around with boring stuff. So with that being said, let me give you some actionable tips on using, just getting started with doing Facebook Live. So I've got a phone right here, and just want to show you some things. First of all, what I would tell you is make sure that you clean your screen and your lenses, because whether you're doing a front view or a rear view, actually I'm going to use this one, it'll be easier to see. So, and this one won't go off as many times. So wow, this phone is super, super messy. Oh my goodness. I guess with all the moisturizers and stuff, and definitely clean the little lens on the back as well. So that's my very first tip, is definitely clean the lens. It will make a difference. You know, maybe people won't see it quite as much, but it will make for a clear video for sure. Next up is, when you're doing this, decide on your orientation. And what I mean is, are you going to do a vertical video, or are you going to do horizontal? So how are you going to use this video? Is it just going to be Facebook Live? Is it just you talking to the camera? You can bring other people into a live now. I've not done that. It's just not something I've done before, but you know, think about where you're going to be, and if you want that orientation, or if you're going to download that video later. I didn't talk about repurposing it all, but one thing that I certainly do is I download my live videos. I then put them over on YouTube. Well, obviously when you're watching YouTube, you want to watch it like this, correct? Rather than this. So it's Snapchat and Instagram stories. They're more vertical. YouTube is going to be horizontal, just like a TV. So think about what orientation, and think about what's going to be in your picture. I always find it annoying to watch a racing video that's shot vertically, because it's just weird. But if you're shooting like at a race where you're just trying to do a little bit of live, maybe it's hot laps or something. You just want to do a quick live, just say, hey guys, hey, I want to talk to you, and you know, welcome to the track, and I'm going to flip the screen around or flip the camera around and show the track. It would make more sense to do it horizontal versus vertically. So make that decision before you go in, and that's important. You'll have to, because if you turn your phone, it really gets jacked up. I'm using a webcam right now. I generally use a webcam when I go live because I'm normally in my office. It's easy. It's all connected. But a phone, I'm just giving these instructions as if you were going with a phone, and especially if you're on location. And I know that it's a struggle for sure, because I've been there, totally been there, made some mistakes. Next up, when you're going, before you go live, of course, this depends. If you're going to be at a racetrack and maybe you're just going to do a pit walk or something, then maybe you don't necessarily need a plan. It's just going to kind of happen. You know that your plan is, I'm starting here, I'm going to end here, and we're just going to walk, you know, and see what happens along the way. But maybe in your shop, maybe you're going to do a weekly race review. Maybe you're going to talk about a new product that you just bought. If you're doing something like that, I would recommend having some sort of a plan before you start your live video, rather than just when there is very difficult when you just turn on a camera and just like, hey, start talking. That's far more difficult. But if you go in and what I mean is, see, look at that. There's the cheat sheet right there. So I spent a few minutes just preparing before this video, knowing, you know, I don't write a script. I just have a few bullet points and know that I'm going to fill in the blanks, just that I want to make sure that I get the main ideas and I communicate those to anybody that I'm talking to. So having a plan is a really good thing. Next, a big question would be, where should I do this live video? Should I do it on my page? Should I do it on my personal profile? And for promoting your race team, I would recommend that you do this on your racing page. Now, you can go ahead and use your personal profile, because if you're like me, my personal profile has a bunch of people on it, and some of my pages, because I have a few, don't have nearly as many people. But I really want to send that traffic to my page. So in order to do that, I might mention on my personal page, hey, I'm going to go live in my Facebook page, you know, at such and such a time. You can create an event. That's a great way to promote. You could create an event in your Facebook page, then share that event to your personal profile. But as far as actually going live, I would recommend that you want to do that on your racing page. And that way it's going to be able to be viewed by anyone, and don't have to worry about privacy settings, because pages are automatically public. So I think that's important. Next up is check your lighting. Now, if you're outside, you don't necessarily have to worry about that. I mean, unless it's night. But if you're outside and it's during the day, you've got sunlight and it's fine. But like if you're in the shop, or if maybe you have an office, or you want to just shoot from your kitchen, that's totally fine, wherever you want to be. But go ahead and check on your light. The sound is really the most important thing, and then second is lighting. And I've found a couple of little tricks for that if you're interested. So one would be, if there's anybody else in the house that has a phone, you could turn on the flashlight and just have them shine the light on you. I've certainly done that before. Another little one here is, I'll show you this one. This is a selfie ring light. is what this one is. I actually just had it on and had it going. I actually have another ring light over here because you guys, I do a ton of videos, so this isn't a big surprise, but that's the giant light over there. And I'm not saying that you have to buy expensive equipment. All I'm saying is I'm just introducing you to the stuff that I use and that's worked well for me. So one of those bigger lights is like $100. So don't feel like you have to do that unless you're going to do a ton of live video like I do. Otherwise, like this little selfie one, this one plugs in with a USB. It's not battery operated, so it's not mobile. But if you're going to be in one spot, this is a good one. Plus, this one actually holds your phone too. You can just go to Amazon and look up selfie ring light. And this will, this is one of them. I think it was like $18 on Amazon. And it just comes in handy. There's other ones I've seen that clip onto your phone. That's another option too. But if you're well lit, I mean, you'd be amazed that I actually do face a window, so I've got plenty of light around me, but the lighting makes a big difference. So just check it and make sure it's not terrible. That's would be my biggest thing, is just make sure it's not terrible. You can even like take lampshades and off of your lamps and just have those in front of you. There's different things you can do, but you want to definitely light up your face so people can, you know, people can really relate and see your expressions and not be put off by the fact that there's such terrible lighting. And next is when you get started, just get started. So this is going to be a tip on how to even start this off. And I know I see a lot of live video where I might get one of those notifications like, hey, somebody is live, and I might click on it. And so we're going to kind of go on some of my pet peeves at this point. And so I click on this link, and then it's like, okay, we're just going to wait around for some people to get here. Dude, don't do that. Don't, because here's why. There's two reasons. Number one is the people that are there, it makes them feel like they're not important. Like you're not starting because they're not important enough to start for. So why would you do that to the people who have already believed in you and they're already there on your video? Secondly, you want the people, it really does create a sense of FOMO if the people that join later, they feel like they missed something in the first couple minutes. Guess what? When that video is done, they might even go back and rewatch the first 30 seconds that they missed. So I would say when you go, just start jumping in and just go. And you'll notice you're welcome to check any of the live videos that I've done either in this group or on Crate Insider. There's no such thing as me standing there going, well, let's just wait for some people to get here. No, I don't do that. I just start off and I just start going. So I think that's something that really shows your audience that you value them if you just start going. And with that, make sure that, you know, you can always make sure in the very beginning that you're just kind of doing a little bit of an intro that's really simple, that nobody's really going to be left behind. You don't want to have the big bang of what you have to announce in the first, 5 seconds when nobody's there. So, and then you can, of course, always repeat it. So that's a good idea. And then I should probably just laugh at myself on this one, is don't ramble too much, because that's easy to do as well, where it can get like you've got the plan, but then you start in conversations and then, just watch out for those conversations where somebody asks a question or they make a comment and you both understand a story that only you two are there and nobody else in the audience understands. Like it's not really fun for the other viewers to do. And I do have actually one more pet peeve too. I make a point, the only people that I say hi to on a video, which I'll say hi in a moment, are the people who have commented. If you've left a comment, I get a little annoyed if I am on a live video, if I'm watching it, and maybe I just wanted to watch. Maybe I didn't really want to participate. And so it feels weird when they call out my name. And sometimes, let lurkers be lurkers. So we can all be in those lurking moods, and maybe we just want to just watch and kind of be a little bit antisocial. So let people do that. And even though you're seeing, hey, John Brown is here and Jimmy, somebody is, even though it shows you in your comments, it shows you the people that are there, I recommend not calling them out unless they leave a comment, because that shows that they are interested in interacting. So that's important. So with that, I'm going to say hi to Andy Brown because he said hi here, and Brian Izzy, so hello. But I want to thank, that's pretty much all I have for today on my, remember, I planned it. So if you have any questions about Facebook Lives, of course, I can talk about video literally for hours, but if any specific questions, feel free to leave a comment and I will keep an eye on this, the comments for this video. And if I can answer some other questions, I'm more than happy to. Also, feel free to drop in a comment if there's a particular topic you'd like me to cover for next week's training. And this is my plan, is just to keep showing up every Tuesday on, like, right after my Top 5 Tuesday video for Crate Insider. So generally around 2:30, between 2:30 and 3 o'clock, you can count on me being here and doing some type of live training. But I want to thank you all for being here. I look forward to seeing you next week, and best of luck to you in all of your racing and your sponsorship efforts. Talk to you soon.